Well, hello, my friend, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here because we are going to dive into just a subject that has been on my mind and on my heart for so long as it relates to being a personal stylist. And I'm really excited to be putting this video series together for you. So we're going to dive in a little bit and talk about how to love the skin you're in. So let's get going. My name is Tina Schwan. I'm a personal stylist, and as such, I help you clear the closet chaos. So both out of your closet, getting rid of those things, we'll talk a little bit more about that, and also clearing the chaos out of your mind. And then once that's done, we got to talk about loving the skin you're in, which is a little bit tougher nut to crack, right? Loving the skin you're in at this very moment. Not the skin you used to have or the skin you wish you had, but this loving yourself, your body, the way it is right now. And we know that philosophically, we know, logically, we know everybody is beautiful, right? And there's even a Bible verse that gets quoted quite often. It is, I have to look, Psalm 139, verse 3. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, whether or not you believe in the Bible or God or whatever, we all came from somewhere, and someone created us, and they thought we were perfect the way we were created, right? At least that's what I think. So take it or leave it. But I do believe everybody is beautiful. Everybody is beautiful, right? So that is my standpoint. And as a stylist, I also believe in unconditional positive regard, which is another term that comes from psychology. I'm not going to go into that, but I can always try and find the beautiful parts of someone. And I work with a lot of women, and a lot of women are struggling with their body image. So we're going to go over some terms today. This is just the first video in a series of videos about loving the skin you're in. So be ready to dive in, and we're just going to scratch the surface today. So let's get going again. So lesson 1, we're going to talk about definitions a little bit. Just kind of try to clear up some of the gray areas, even though there is overlap between these 3 things, but this is just the introduction video, and I just wanted to lay the foundation for our series by going over these 3 things: body image, number 2, confidence, and number 3, self-esteem. So clearing the chaos. Again, I love to clear the closet chaos, get rid of things out of the closet that aren't working for you anymore. And I certainly have videos. I'll link one in the description below about how best to detox your closet, which is awesome. But really the next step in clearing the chaos is clearing the chaos out of our mind, right? The difference between body image, confidence, and self-esteem, and starting to build those things so that you can feel that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, right? So first one, body image. A person's subjective picture. I love that word, subjective. This is straight from the dictionary on Google, right? Or mental image of their own body. So it's how you think of your body, right? It may not be accurate as far as the way other people see you, but it's the way you think about your body. And there's a typo in here, but it says, she says in the magazine that she struggled with her body image growing up. A lot of us have, right? And we'll get into that more, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my own story and some other stories of people that are close to me about body image. And I'm going to start to get emotional, so I'm going to move on for this video. But it's definitely a real issue for a lot of women, and it's also an issue for men as well. And I see it every single day in my styling business, and it manifests itself in many different ways. Probably the first being that people don't want to give me their measurements. Measurements is a hot button for a lot of people. They don't want to tell me their weight. They may not even want to tell me their height. But the truth of the matter is, if I'm going to go shopping for you as your stylist, I kind of need to know those things. But it is something that, as a stylist, I have to be very mindful of and very intentional about the way I approach people with those types of issues. So body image, subjective picture in your mind, the mental image of your own body. Second term, confidence. Okay, confidence gets thrown around. I hear a lot of this in, the self-help world. If you read this book, you're going to gain more confidence. You're going to get more confidence so you can do more things and you can, all of these things. But confidence, as well as body image, as well as self-esteem that we're going to talk about next, are very difficult things to measure. Right? Talk about subjective and unmeasurable. It's pretty tough to say, I'm going to grow your confidence level from a 0 to 100 in one styling session. Like it just can't happen, right? It just cannot happen. So it's a process, just like trying on clothes and finding the right style for you is a process. Building your confidence is also a process. But confidence, the definition, a feeling of self-assurance arising from your appreciation of your own abilities or qualities. And the quote is, she's brimming with confidence. So it's how well we believe we can do something. It's not really related to self-worth. I mean, there's a little bit of overlap there, but it's how well we can believe we can do something, right? So we talk about imposter syndrome all the time, and that weighs into confidence because let's take me for an example. I started my styling business at the age of 58. I turn 60 tomorrow on September 24th, or September 14th, 2024. I turn 60 and I'm just getting started in my business 2 years in, right? So there was a lot of imposter syndrome and lack of confidence in myself on becoming a stylist, trying to start my own business, being an entrepreneur. And again, it's a process, but the more I know, the more I learn, the more I build the confidence. And the more you just kind of go, I got to dive right in and do it. So the same thing goes with our self-image, our body image, our confidence. They all go hand in hand, right? In lockstep with each other. And a lot of moving toward loving the skin you're in is feeling confident in your own body and in the clothing that you're putting on your body so you can put yourself out there in the most positive way into the world, right? So that's that. The next one is self-esteem. Okay, so confidence, self-esteem. Now we use the word confidence, this is from the dictionary again, in the definition of self-esteem. Self-esteem is confidence in one's own worth or abilities, self-respect. There is an assertiveness training for those with low self-esteem. There's a lot of gray areas. So confidence, feeling of self-assurance, self-esteem, confidence in your own worth. So worthiness comes into play here. That's the first time we've seen the word worth or worthiness. And and that I see again on a daily basis with my styling clients. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. It's not a singular story. This is a story that happens all the time. It is a bit of a singular story, okay? So not my story, someone else's story, one of my clients, but I just want to share it with you a little bit to illustrate this point. So this woman is a very successful business owner, been an entrepreneur, built a business from the ground up. Literally, it was a nothing business. It was a very underserved industry at the time when she started her business, and she's been in business for a long time. It's very successful around the country in the United States, and she's got it going on. Let's just put it that way. Her self-esteem should be through the roof, right? But she's gained a little bit of weight, like going through menopause. Hello, ladies. That's a whole nother video series. But I've gone through it myself and still feel like I'm still going through it after 10 years. But anyway, her self-esteem is very low, and she did not feel worthy of doing a styling session. But she finally was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I am worthy of this. I am worthy of this. And she came to the store, and I had a whole room laid out for her. It was a big VIP experience, right? It was all wonderful, and everything was beautiful, and the colors that she liked, and the style that she likes, and the sizes that we thought she needed. And nonetheless, it's a process. Like, not everything's going to fit, not everything's going to work, not everything's going to be great. But we did find some great things, right? And it was wonderful. And from my standpoint, I thought she looked fabulous in what she went home in. Had no idea she was having any sort of mental self-talk that was negative in any way. And then a few days later, I got a beautiful note from her. It was wonderful. And she was like, Tina, when I first pulled up in that parking lot, I almost didn't come into the store because I was feeling so unworthy of doing this. I was like, I'm not going to look good. Why am I spending the money on this? I am not going to fit into anything. I'm too heavy right now. La, 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 all the things, all the chaos in our mind, right? And she said, then after about 40 minutes, because we had a 2-hour session, I started to relax and started to see the way you saw me and see myself in the mirror that way. That is the highest praise I could ever get. Seriously, that is why I became a stylist in the first place, because I've been there. I felt frumpy. I've gained weight. I wasn't wearing what I needed to wear in order to present my best self, like all of the things. And that's another story for another day. But I relate to that. And I think that hopefully you can see that I relate to that and want to learn more about this because it's such an important subject that doesn't get talked about. Okay. So there's some interchangeability. That's why we have the arrows kind of going up and down between body image, confidence, self-esteem. And they are so closely connected. Excuse me. But before we start talking about them as a community, I wanted to take a moment to break down what each one really means. So again, this is video number 1. And if you want to go back and look up my closet detox videos, you certainly can. I've got some older videos about how to dress for your body type. I'm planning to redo those videos because I'm not necessarily congruent with those anymore. But if you want to go back and look up that information, you certainly can. This is moving toward that, how to dress for your body type, but it's much more of the thoughts and feelings that go into your style and how we start to create your signature style once we've tackled some of these issues. So stay tuned for the next video coming up next. And it is how we're going to use style to improve your body image, confidence, and self-esteem. If you like what I'm sharing with you, please smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the little bell so that you get notifications and don't miss the next videos. I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for stopping in, and God bless.